Hey, this is Mitch down in the fitness center. How are you doing? Today we're going to talk about core engagement, okay? And that's really one of the more misunderstood and just constantly evolving areas of kind of physical training. And what I want to talk about is why it's important, what it is, and ways to properly engage your core, because it's the kind of thing where again, it's really evolved over time, and the way we thought 15, 20, 30 years ago that you should engage your core we've learned is not really the case anymore. So a lot of people are doing this wrong, which is leading to some kind of pain and some dysfunction that we want to get rid of. So first thing, the important thing is, and I'm holding this balloon, you're going to find out why in a second, but we want to talk about engagement, not strength. See, for most people, you want to get your core stronger, of course, but the most important aspect of that is engaging your core in the right way. It's not just the strength part of it, it's using it correctly, okay? And we're going to talk about how to do that, but that's a very important thing. So you can't just work your core. You have to know why you're working it, how you're working it correctly, hopefully, and that's how you can learn how to engage it. And one of the reasons why engaging it is so important is because engaging it puts your body into a good position. So engaging it is going to make things easier on your back, it's going to make things easier on your shoulders, it's going to make things easier on your hips. When you don't engage your core correctly, chronic pain kind of can really come up and down your body, along with just additional stress because of the way you're breathing and things like that. So the reason I'm holding this balloon is because the main issue with core engagement, the way it used to be taught about sucking in. Suck in that core, suck in that gut, It turns out that that's completely the opposite, and I'm going to use this balloon to show you why. Your core is essentially a balloon. Your core muscles are not just your abs, the six-pack muscles here. Your core muscles are all the way around, the entire area of your body, all the way around, it's almost like a barrel that is just sitting there all the way through, okay? So it's very similar to a balloon in how it works. So when we suck in, and you can kind of see if I suck in my gut, so see what happens here? I kind of get into a little extended position and I lengthen out. So think about lengthening out like that balloon, okay? That's what happens, okay? What we actually want to do is push out on the core a little bit, okay? And what that's going to do is, instead of lengthening the balloon, it's going to push that balloon there. So this all comes back to one important point, and that is the reason your core is here and the reason your core is like a balloon is because it wants to stabilize. That's the main function of the core, is stabilizing your body so your arms and your legs and your head can do all these things, okay? So what has more stability? If that balloon is lengthened out because I'm sucking in, notice how when I do that, I get a little taller, things lengthen out. What has more stability? That balloon when it's stretched out like that, or boom, that balloon when it's compressed like that, okay? Because that's really what happens, again, to your core. Your core is basically like a balloon. It kind of blows up and does a very similar kind of a thing. So that is a big switch that a lot of people have to turn on if they want their core to engage correctly. So I'm going to show you a few different ways to do that. Of course, if you have any questions about that, come on down. This can get into a much longer topic. I just want to show you how to do it. We can get into more detail if you want to one-on-one or through email, however you need to. Let's get to it. Now I'm going to show you 3 ways to do this. They're all going to do similar things, but in slightly different ways. It's just whatever connects with you. You can try all 3. If one really works for you, stick with that. What a lot of times will happen is maybe one doesn't, but one really clicks in. It's all a feel thing. That's a very important thing. It's all feeling it correctly, okay? So the first one we're going to try, I just want you to stand up nice and tall. Take a couple of good deep breaths. And just take your fingers and just very lightly press your fingers into your abs. You don't have to jam in there. Just real easy, real easy. And then using your abs, push your fingers out, okay? So once again, push them in, and then using your abs, push your fingers out. And notice when you do that, You're going to have a little bit of an exhale that comes with that, okay? And that's a good thing. You want that. And then just pay attention to how that feels. It fills all of this up. It's going to give you more stability and support through your midsection, okay? And if you have what's called extension-based back pain, some people that, again, breathe a lot up here or are very used to sucking in that gut, their back pain comes from getting overly extended through there. And what this is going to do is put that back, your low back, into a much more neutral position, which is where we want it, okay? So just call that like the ab finger technique. Again, push, use your abs, push out, and just hold on to that feeling. And that is good core engagement from that position. Okay, the next thing you're going to do, you can take one, if you come down to the fitness center, we have these resistance bands, that'll work. If you're at home and you have a belt that's big enough, that can work also. So what you want to do is take the band, the belt, whatever you got, you can use like a string or something. You're going to wrap it around. And if you have the band, you're going to actually kind of tighten it a little bit. I like to just kind of, I'll show you how to do this. I'm going to loop it through. Just give it a bit of a pull. It doesn't have to be super tight. It should feel like something's on there, but you don't want to get it super tight. You want to have a little bit of room in there. And all you're going to do here, and if you have a belt at home, get it again. You want to be able to, if you can slip your finger in there a little bit, no more, no less, that's probably a good tension for you. Just stand up, and then again, using your abs now, push out on that belt, on the band, whatever you have. And you should feel a very similar thing to when you were pushing your fingers in. But now you'll feel it kind of all the way around. You're using that belt or the band or whatever it is to feel like a little bit of extra tension in there. And that's what you want. And you don't want to walk around with all that tension all the time, but being able to get that tension when you want it, when you want to engage correctly, teaching your body how to engage correctly and breathe correctly can go a long way. So you might be wondering why I'm down here. It's another version. We're just going to use a balloon now. And this is going to be a weird one, and this is going to be a little challenging maybe, but it's also very instructive. So all you're going to do here is lie on your back. I like to have my knees bent. I think it's actually kind of important to bend your knees. And you're just going to blow up a balloon. Let the air out, and then do it again. And this may seem silly, but what's going on here is it is literally impossible to blow up a balloon in this position without using your core muscles down here. You can't do it from up here. So if you're someone who really breathes up here all the time, a lot of stress, and you're feeling those shoulders jamming up by your ears all the time, this can be so important in really teaching core engagement and how it feels. Because the feel of it is so crucial. That once you get the feel of it, then you kind of know when you're there, you know how to get there. But all you do, lie on your back, blow up that balloon, and again, it is nearly impossible to blow up that balloon lying on your back without using these muscles. This is a great exercise, and all you need is a balloon. So give that one a try. So those are 3 great ways to really start to get a feel for how to properly engage your core. There's obviously a lot more, but those are really good ones to start with. Usually there's 1 or 2 there that are really going to connect with you. If you have any questions about it, let me know. It's really important and it's really interesting, and there's a lot of ways you can go with it, but a lot of it starts here.